Hello, it's Liz here with Stampin' on the Rock. Today I'm going to share with you an accordion card like this. It's an accordion card with a coordinated envelope. Okay, so let's get started. My main goal when I first started this was showing people how your Christmas paper, Christmas is over, you have Christmas paper that you can still continue to use it most of the time. So I'm using Christmas paper pack. It's called Elegant Pine Snowflakes. And the one side has these ferns here with the little berries. So it has a Christmas look to it. But if you flip it over, it's not. So take your Christmas papers, flip them over, and see what's on the other side. And you probably can still use it further past Christmas. All right, so let me show you the ink colors I'm going to be using first. The ink colors are Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Shaded Spruce. I'm showing you what I'm using here today, but really I want you to show you the idea and the technique so you can use what you have, or if you want to get these exact products, that's fine, and you can go to stampinontherock.com. But so I'm just going to show you what I'm using though. Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, Shaded Spruce are my ink colors. I'll be using two stamp sets. This one is Pretty Florals. This one is Prayers and Promises. This is a new stamp set. Great words in here. If you like to have words for the front of your card and the inside, this is a very good one because there's two that coordinate together that you can do the outside and the inside. Okay, so those are the two stamp sets. And I'm just going to go through all my pieces, show you what I'm doing, and I'll give you measurements for those as we go. So even though this card opens this way, you can still get two cards out of one piece of cardstock. Okay, so what I'm going to be using is Gorgeous Grape, 8.5 by 11 cardstock. What I want to do is I'm going to have a pencil, and I'm holding it the long way. And maybe I'll put this up a little higher so you can see everything in there. Okay, there we go. All right, so I'm going to put this at the 3-inch mark here. 3-inch, 3-inch, and I'm going to put a little tick mark up here. Okay, and then I'm turning this around to the other side, to the other end, and same thing, I'm going to put a 3-inch mark up here. And then what I'm doing is I'm going to take those two little marks I did, the 3-inch mark here, the 3-inch mark over here, and put them in the guide, the cutting guide. So one of them is going to go in right there. And then I'm taking this other 3-inch mark from down here and putting that in the cutting guide. So there's a 3-inch there and a 3-inch at the bottom. And then I'm going to cut. Okay, so you want to cut first before scoring. And that's the cutting. And now I have two, and I can make two cards out of the one piece of cardstock. Okay, so I'm just going to use one for right now, but you do have two of them. We're going to put that aside. And now I'm going to do some scoring. If you're going to do a bunch of scoring, sometimes it's safer to just take out your cutting blade. There's been too many times that I've done where I'm like, oh shoot, I just cut. I didn't mean to cut. I wanted to score. So bring your cutting blade in the center and pop that out of there and just carefully set it aside. Then I'm going to turn this over. I want the straight edge to be at the top. So the one that's on an angle is going to be down at the bottom. Straight edge at the top and the small side. And I'm going to score. Whoops, I need to pull out the side. Pull out the arm. And I'm going to score at 3 inches. And 6 3/4 inches. So 3 inches and 6 3/4 inches. Here you go. So you can see that. Hang on one second. There you go. It was scored at 3 inches and 6 3/4 inches. And I'll pull that off of here. And then we can put this aside. Okay. Let me grab, here we go, bone folder. So we're going to take a bone folder. We want it to go this way. Okay, you're holding your paper this way, so your flat edge is at the bottom, and you're going to fold backwards. And if you do it the wrong way and realize, no big deal, just turn around and fold it again. Fold it the other direction. And then we're going to go back with this one. So that at this point, this is what you have. Okay, so you're going to need 3 pieces of paper. You'll need a piece for here, a piece for here, and a piece for here. You can do all of this with designer series paper if you want to. Or you can, like, if you don't want to stamp it and you want to do mostly designer series paper, go for it and put a piece of designer series paper here, and then a piece here and a piece here. And then you would just have to put a white piece in there or something, or a lighter color so you can do your writing. But I'm going to do 1 piece of designer series paper, and then the other 2 are going to be white. Okay, but this is your base. You can start decorating any way you want to. So let me show you how I did. This is the inside. So let me show you how I did that. I'll bring this up just a little bit here. There we go. Stay with me. Okay. All right. We got it. All right. So you're going to need 2 pieces of white cardstock. So your 2 pieces of white cardstock are 2 3/4 inches by 3.5 and 4 by 5 1/4 inches. So they're just basic white cardstock. My pattern piece of paper is 3.5 inches by 4 1/4. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is my smallest piece is going to go here, the white small piece. You have 2 options here for how you're going to do this. So first I'm going to lay this on here and you'll see okay, that doesn't really fit there. So hang with me. Hold this on here and get about an equal distance on both sides. And then you're going to bring this corner right here, this corner of the white cardstock needs to line up with the purple. So you're bringing it up so that it lines up with the purple on this side. It's going to be extra over here, but lining up there. So you have 2 options. You can either just hold it in place like this and flip it over and take your scissors and cut, which is how I would typically do it, but you can do that. Or you can flip it over like that, lay it down, take a pencil, and just draw a pencil line. And then you can pick it up and either put it through your paper trimmer, or you can just cut with your scissors, whichever you're more comfortable with. And you're just cutting along that line. And now this fits exactly at the front with a little border on it. Do you see that? You get a nice border all the way around the whole thing. Okay, so that's your front piece. Your next piece, your pattern piece, just the biggest thing is before you cut, just look and see where you're going to be adhering these, okay? So that's your front piece, the white that we just did. This pattern piece here is going to be going on this side. So I want to do the same thing. I'm going to line up or get an equal distance on both sides. I'm bringing this up so that this top corner, the green, meets up with the purple. So once it meets up with the purple and you have about an equal distance on either side, same idea, flip it over, and you can either just take a scissors and cut down, or you can draw with a pencil and then cut the line. I'm going to just hold it, and I'm just cutting down with my scissors. Okay, and then we're going to flip it over, and we'll take this piece and we'll slide it down, and that will fit right in there. And you have a border around the whole thing. All right, so those are those 2 pieces, and you have your last one. Your largest piece of white is going to go inside here. So we're going to do the same thing again. We're going to make sure that there's about equal distance on either side. Take your white cardstock and make sure it comes up to the edge where the purple is. Flip it over, and then either draw with a pencil and cut with your trimmer, or you can just use scissors and cut, whichever you would rather. I'm going to just cut with my scissors right here. Then we'll get rid of that. this camera up again. Thanks for staying with me with this camera sliding a little bit. All right, so now I have that piece that goes right there, okay? So we can go ahead and attach this pattern piece. I'm just putting, now watch the glue that I put on here. Those of you who are liquid glue users, I use liquid glue and the Stamp and Seal. Don't go right close to your edges, and you really don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. That's all I'm putting on there, if you can see that. Okay. I'm going to take that and put that right in here. Okay, so there we go. That's that piece out of the way. All right, now we're going to do a little bit of some stamping. Let's do the large piece first. Okay, we'll take this large one. And again, I'm pulling out my Gorgeous Grape, Highland Heather, and shaded, actually I don't need the shaded spruce for this part, just the Gorgeous Grape and the Highland Heather. Let's see. All right, so this is a two-step stamping. The stamps go one on top of each other. One is more detailed and one is more like a background or an outline. Which one has to go first is really a preference. I'm going to do the darker color first, so I'm going to use this detailed one with the dark color. So I'm going to take the detailed one with Gorgeous Grape, and I'm stamping all around the edges. Don't worry about being exact with it. It's okay if you're a little bit crooked, a little bit off. It's all going to be okay. Just stamping all around my edges. And there we go. Okay, so that's what I have at the moment. And then I want to go in with the background with Highland Heather. You can just go Highland Heather right to or right on top of the Gorgeous Grape you just did, but I want it to be a contrast. So I'm actually going to stamp, get ink on my stamp, and then I'm going to stamp off and do what's called a second generation on top. So I'm stamping off and then going on top, stamping off and then going on top, all the way around the whole thing. Okay, and I'm not really worried about, I mean, you can, they will line up pretty closely. I'm not really worried about that at the moment, though. I just, if they don't line up exactly, it's not really a big deal for what I'm doing here. Okay, so there we go. That's my inside of my edge. I'm going to pull out the shaded spruce ink, and I'm stamping my words on the inside. I'm going to ink those up. And we're going to straight down, straight back up. And this one says, as you grieve, may your memories comfort you, your faith strengthen you, and may hope heal your heart. So that's the inside, and I'm going to go ahead and take that, and we're going to attach that to the inside of my card. Again, you see how much I'm just kind of gently squeezing with this glue? And that's it. That's the amount that's on there. I'm going to attach that in here. Set that down, and then I usually turn it over backwards to press a little bit more. Okay, so that's the inside, that's the middle section, and let's just do the front. And you want to make sure, again, before you're stamping, just make sure you're going the right direction. So I'm going to go this way. So for this one here, we're going to do, I would suggest stamping your words first, just so you know you have enough space. So I'm going to be stamping my words up in the top, and I can always adjust my flowers, but I want to make sure I have enough space for my words. Okay, so the words say, "So sorry for your loss." And I'm going to do flowers with the stem. I'm going to do the flowers first, and I'm going to do the dark one before the lighter one, but again, that part is a preference. So this is going to be in Gorgeous Grape. I'm going to stamp that right here. There's the Gorgeous Grape. This one here will be done in the Highland Heather. I'll do the same thing again. I'm going to stamp off so that I have more of a contrast. This is going to go right over top. Do you see how because it's clear, you can see where you're stamping. Stamp that right over top. And look at those flowers, beautiful. We're going to go back to the shaded spruce for the stems. And again, because it's clear, I can see where I'm stamping. Let's straight down, straight back up. And there you go, that's the front. And let's grab the adhesive. Just a little bit of some liquid glue in there, a little dotting. Okay. All right, so let's attach this to the front. If you wanted to, you could take like a Stampin' sponge or like a brush, and you could add a little bit of some soft ink around the edges too. That could work. Flip that over. And there's your card. So sorry for your loss. As you grieve, may your memories comfort you, your faith strengthen you, and may hope heal your heart. And again, you could alter this to whatever papers you want to use. Pull out those Christmas papers, flip to the back side, see what's on there, because you might be able to still use it. But that's the card, and you can still get 2 cards from a sheet of cardstock. One more thing I wanted to add, though, that's just a fun thing to do. This is your envelope. I grabbed a piece of Designer Series paper that matches the card we just did, and this one is 2 1/4 by 6 inches. I didn't write that one down here, but 2 1/4 inches by 6 inches, okay, is what this is here. So I'm going to take adhesive. If you haven't done this before, it's just a fun way to dress up your card that comes in the mail. So, you know, just adding a little extra fancy to it. I don't do it to all the cards I mail, but I do like when I can. So if I have the paper for it, I will try to make a coordinated envelope. Okay, so you can leave it like this and then attach your paper. I think it's easier to close it up this way, because then I can see the edge better. So I'm taking this piece of paper and I'm laying it right up against the edge of my envelope. Get it right up against the edge and then press it down. Okay, and it dries pretty quickly. It does give you a little wiggle room, so it does not an instant dry, but you know, within 10 seconds or so it's dry. Okay, and then I'll open it up. Take my scissors. And I think the trick with your scissors is I'm turning the envelope, not my scissors. My scissors are really just staying in the same direction, but when I turn, I'm turning the envelope or turning the paper, whatever you're actually cutting. And there you go. And now I have an envelope that coordinates with my card. It's a regular size card that will fit into a regular size envelope, and I have the envelope flap that matches it, and you're all ready to go. So I hope that was helpful to you. The products can be found at stampingontherock.com. If you have other products at home, which I'm sure you do, you could use what you have there. Just grab my measurements that I have and create what you would like. So I hope this was helpful to you, and if it was, and if you like what you saw, please comment below, and I will respond to anything I see down there. So thanks so much for being here, and I'll talk with you soon. Bye-bye.